I have a couple of kind of favorite exercises with Please and Appease. And one is to track the physical indicator of that please and appease. Often it's a smile, but it can be anything. I'm remembering one client, we'll call her Mallory, where she talked like this all the time. And she could be talking about the worst thing that happened to her, but she would be smiling all the time. So there was an incongruence there and very much related to please and appease was my hypothesis. So I just asked her, I said, you notice that even when you're talking about these horrible things, you're smiling? She goes, oh yeah, people tell me that all the time. I said, have you worked with that? She said, no, but everybody's always telling me. I said, well, maybe let's explore that for a few minutes. And she said, fine. So I said, let's just exaggerate that. Just hold the smile. Don't even talk. Hold the smile. And pretty soon, what came up for her was the part of her that was desperate for me to approve of her, because if I didn't, abuse could happen. And this was a story of her early childhood. But there's a desperation to this. Approve of me. I'm a good person, a nice person. Approve of me. So to keep herself safe. So exaggerating a primary indicator of please and appease can be really helpful. My other favorite one is to work with boundaries, to have clients in some way construct a boundary around themselves. Many times they can do it just with their arms to have a sense of it. Other times we'll sit on the floor and we'll have ropes or tinsel or something to put around to make a boundary around you and your space. First, to start to feel yourself. Because people who are into please and appease, they're often out of themselves into the other person. So we'll set that boundary. I'm remembering one client who she couldn't feel it with her arms or even with a rope. It felt so weak. So she took pillows and objects from the office so that she could really see that this was her boundary. And then she felt different inside herself. From there, we start to do experiments with the client saying no. And they can be simple experiments of coming in to the boundary or taking a pillow that represents a person or a demand that's coming towards them, invading their own sense of boundary, and have them say no. And it's amazing how much these physicalizing experiments bring up, because they're not just physical exercises, they're connected with implicit memories that are just full of meaning and emotional pain. And when we do these experiments, it's not about the content anymore. This is one of the things I love about this work. It's around how a person organizes around a particular issue. So we're not talking about, that she pleases her husband all the time or he's always pleasing everybody. We're not talking about it. We're getting under the content into implicit phenomena that drives the content. So we're changing patterns of organization through that, which is, I think, at the root of healing and change.